I'm going to give you a quick and simple example of inheritance. So I've created here a very simple person class. So this person class has a name, an ID, and an age. You'll notice it has a couple of constructors here. And basically I have my getters, get name, get ID, get age, and I have my setters, set name, set ID, and set age, and I have a toString. And so it's a pretty simple class. It doesn't really do anything particularly interesting. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new class here. And I'm going to make this a class called employee. So remember, if you've gone through the lecture notes for inheritance, you'll know that when we create subclasses, so person's going to be our superclass. When we create subclasses, the subclass gets more and more specific. Okay, so person is pretty generic. This could be any kind of person. I could have an employee, I could have a student, I could have a faculty member, I could have a doctor, so something that's more specific than just a generic person. So in this case, we're going to make an employee, okay? And the way that I make it inherit everything that's in person is I just add in the extends person. Okay, so extends is a keyword, and then person is the name of the class that I'm extending. Okay, now I haven't done anything else, but you'll notice that if I go ahead and save this, okay, so I'm going to save this as employee.java, you'll see that it compiles. Okay, see down here? It compiles, and now I'm going to go ahead and create an implementation class. Okay, so I'm going to do public class impl. We'll have our public static void main string args. Okay, now you'll see that employee doesn't have any code in here except that it just extends person. Okay, but already I can go in here and I can say, okay, I'm going to do employee E1 equals new employee. Okay, and you'll see that after I save this, that this compiles. Okay, and in fact, I can do e1.setName Bob, e1.setID 1 2 3 4 5, e1.setAge 18. And I can do jOptionPane.show message dialog E1. Okay, let me go ahead and import my jOptionPane. Okay, so you'll see that, look, if I compile this and run it, okay, it prints out Bob, ID 12345, age 18, despite the fact that, look, in our employee class, we don't have anything other than it extends person. Okay, so basically what's going on here is everything that's available here in person is available in employee. Okay, so an employee is basically just another person. All right. Now, I can add other things in here if I want to. So, like, maybe an employee has a department. Okay? And so I can add in a getter for this. Get department. Well, I guess I need a return type here. So, public string get department. Return department. And I can do public void set department string d department equals d. Okay, so now this employee, in addition to having this department attribute along with these getters and setters for the department, it also retains all of the attributes and methods in person. Okay, so now if I save this employee, let's just make sure, okay, no typos. if I go in here, in addition to setting the name, ID, and age, I can also do an e1.setDepartment. Okay, and maybe this guy's in the English department. Okay, and so if I compile this and run it, you'll notice it still compiles and runs. I get the same thing. You'll notice that it doesn't print out the department. Okay, and the reason why it doesn't print out the department is when I call this show message dialog, it's looking for a toString. Okay, well, employee doesn't have a toString anywhere in here. All it has is this department getter and setter. So it falls back to the toString that's defined down here at the end of person. So it's using this person's toString, okay? So there's a way that we can deal with that, and I'll do that in the next video, okay? But for right now, we see that basically we have this person that has attributes and methods, okay? And then an employee, when we extend that person, it inherits all of those same attributes and methods, but then we can add additional ones that are specific to the employee, okay? So that's basically how inheritance works at a very, very simple level. So again, you can see right in here that we were able to create an employee, and we were able to use these methods, the set name, set ID, and set age, that are defined in the person class, and then the set department method is defined in the employee class. So this is the one that's specific to the employee. Okay, so that's basically a simple overview of how to do inheritance, and I'll put a couple of more videos on here that show some other nuances of inheritance.